We didn't have a deal. It was something we discussed.
So it's a deal when it's something you want and a discussion when Nicole wants it?
Sidebar.
The movie's about marriage as seen through divorce. It's also a movie about family as seen through divorce. And so we were always conscious of casting the right family. When I started writing, I felt like it would be helpful to know who the couple was. I'd already been talking to Adam Driver about what it could be and what his job could be.
Right.
And then very early on, I emailed Scarlett and met with her and spoke to her about it.
I thought we should talk.
I don't know how to start.
Besides just being remarkable actors, I felt like they do match each other, and it was more of an instinct than anything else.
Adam is such an incredible actor, and I so hugely admire him, and I love working with him so much because I feel very connected to him.
If there's someone that you have to do this really hard thing with, there's not a lot of people that you'd really want to do that with, but Scarlett is for sure one of them. You want to go into battle with this person. I would divorce her all over again.
How are you doing?
I wanted really formidable people representing this formidable couple.
I know how it feels.
You do?
Yes. I've never had so much fun talking about a character and playing out thoughts and fantasies in our minds of all the places it could go.
Ultimately, I thought it was important with the lawyers that they be people you recognize, like Alan, who doesn't love him, you know.
I wouldn't expect too much from that cat.
And then if Ray Liotta was brought in as your lawyer, you'd be like, how can we negotiate with this guy?
Jay?
This was just written so well. It's nice to see something very character-driven.
Nicole is withholding Henry.
Counsel, please be
alienating
seated.
him from his father.
Super fun dynamic to engage in as a character.
Nancy!
Hey, Charlie.
Merritt I worked with on Greenberg.
I'm just hot.
She's just really funny and totally her own thing.
We never had this conversation, Charlie Bird.
Got it. I love you.
And Julie, I'd seen her playing things very different from roles she tends to get in movies, and thought it just seemed like a kind of great match.
Henry, go make your mom some coffee like I taught you.
Working with Eji was great. He had that sort of real kidness, which is what you want. You don't want someone too polished, and you don't want someone too raw. He was kind of the perfect balance of those things.
What? Damn it!
I really believe in the importance of casting. There's a point with all good actors where they know more about some aspects of the character than you do. Those are the best experiences making a film.
I thought we should talk.
I don't know how to start.
Noah and I have been talking for a long time about this project, about the irony of certain marital situations or the experience of having a kid and all of these intricacies that became part of this film.
What do I do?
You get a lawyer too.
Noah does a good job playing with the allegiance of audience, where you feel like you have a good sense of who you're supposed to be following, and then suddenly that shifts and you look at somebody a different way. I feel like that's very true to life.
I'm sorry. Unfortunately, because she consulted with Mr. Cohen already, he's legally barred from representing you.
Oh.
You see it in thrillers all the time. All the stuff that seemed innocent in the beginning, you know, he touched the wine glass, we have the fingerprint, you know, all those things that suddenly become part of the police investigation. I thought in a funny way that's also what happens in a divorce.
On a recent visit to Los Angeles, the car seat, which he had assured Nicole had been professionally installed, was clearly not even belted in. It was just sitting in the back seat.
You have to buckle in the car seat. It's the law.
That's something I don't feel like I've quite seen in movies.
You have to stop loving him, Mom. You can't be friends with him anymore.
It's devastating and hilarious.
G-Ma!
Charlie Bird! Mom? Mom! What?
Noah's so brilliant at finding the comedy in the middle of something so excruciating.
Please take the ticket.
Dad, you're too far.
I know.
The direction is invisible, it's very discreet. Noah never drawing attention to himself. Everything is in service of the characters, the story, the drama. It's a style that brings Mike Nichols and Elia Kazan to mind, and the aesthetic is so clearly reflective of a singular vision.
It'll probably read better if she takes the table.
But he enjoys the collaboration. He worked incredibly closely with Jay, our production designer, or Mark, our costume designer.
Yeah. I actually really appreciate Noah's attention to detail. It challenges you and it makes you go the extra mile getting the details right.
He knows what he wants, but he's open to the process of discovery.
You know, most people in my business make up the truth so they can get where they need to go. You're just transactions to them. I like to think of you as people.
Oh, okay, good.
It's clear Noah has a vision, but still, as an actor in the scene, you had the feeling that you weren't bound by some preconception.
I was thinking maybe like when she orders for you.
Charlie will have a Greek salad, but with lemon and olive oil instead of the Greek dressing.
Okay.
It's not like intimate, but kind of like you appreciate being helped.
That gives you more confidence to be genuine, and Noah does that.
You're sharing a nice thing about you and Henry with her. You know?
I felt his integrity and how he protects the relationship between the actors.
I feel like he makes movies that they're kind of meant to be watched again and again and again.
He's just totally limitless. The way that he can see something, a scene, the possibility, it's incredible.